So for example, if I told you 2 + 2 is 4, you know, whether you believe that or not, it's still true, right?
That's
not opinion.
By the system of math that we've designed, yes. Yeah.
Well, that's another debate for another day. You know, mathematical facts come from the mind of God, therefore we can trust them.
I could agree. We could call that discovery.
Yeah, God allowed us the opportunity to live in a world, right, in such a way that we could observe those types of things. Same way with the sun or the rotation of planets. All these things are God's gift to us to show us that He's God and to show us that we're His creation. You're an image bearer of God. You have meaning, you have will, you have purpose, you have design. You're intricately created by God to glorify and honor Him. The only thing Jenna's missing is the access in which you can worship God properly, which
That's
is Jesus.
something that wasn't replicated through Buddhism, I'll say that much. That value for like the individual life, or it's called like the individual spirit.
And see, that's why I stand out on Thursdays. I stand in front of a local abortion clinic and I give moms and dads hope, and I show them options. They don't have to go and murder their baby, right? And we had 2 babies saved last week, and then had another woman come by and cuss me out and bless me out for being there. So I'm here to share that Christianity's attributes that give a society its foundation are vital for existence altogether. And this is what I mean by that. In Genesis chapter 1, it says, in the beginning that God created both the heavens and the earth. Now notice in Genesis 1,
the what of the earth?
Created both the heavens and the earth.
And the earth. Okay.
So it doesn't try to prove God's existence. It just shows us the facts that God did exist, and He created everything that we can see in the skies. He created things that we can see on the earth, and everything that swims in the sea. Everything is subservient to Him, but when Adam and Eve sinned, they rebelled against Him and sent us in chaos. Jesus had to come and make that right. And so that whether you're the Buddhist or whether you're the Hindu or whether you're the Muslim, that same Jesus came to die for the sins of your life if you place your belief in Him. From Genesis to Revelation, there's a story. In Genesis 1, God created and everything was good, right? And by the time we reach chapter 3, God has laid out the foundations for creation. He's given us a commentary in chapter 2 of what happened in chapter 1. We get to Genesis 3 and there's an adversary, the enemy, Satan. He comes in and what is he doing? He's trying to imitate God. And he goes to Adam and he goes to Eve, and he goes to Eve first and says, listen, you shall not surely die. You shall be like God. And so what happened is doubt entered Eve's mind. Okay, she was like, is God really as good as He says He is? Doubt entered her mind, and she began to disobey the one true living God. So all these other deities that are out here are just simply false imitations of the genuine note. And that's what Satan does. So Satan has confused the minds of human beings all over the world with these false deities to turn away and worship them rather than worship the one true living God. Does that make sense? So there's a battle for your soul in this conversation today. That if you see the truth, the deity of the one true living God for who He really is, you will turn away from all these other deities and to begin to worship God rightly.
Well, I get what you're saying.
That's why Jesus had to come and die.
But it's the fact that like every other religious system says the same thing. When Islam came around 500 years later, it said the exact same thing.
Well, let's be honest now. If we were to look at Islam doesn't tell us the same thing Christianity does.
Oh, it doesn't.
No, yeah. The Islam tells us that we have to obey the 5 pillars of Islam. We have to be good enough. Christianity does just the opposite. It says you can do good enough, that God had to come die for us to make us right with Him. And then we place our faith in Jesus and He forgives us.